afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Skytear. Welcome to a very special edition of Skytear Sunday. I'm the commander reporting in for duty. Joining me on the booth, of course, Mataiz. We've seen him. We love him. Welcome once again.
Thank you, RG. I am super stoked to be here for what is probably one of our most special Skytear Sundays we've had in a good while.
And what exactly is so special about it?
We've got a certain guest appearing here on both sides of our lineups, being one of our two new heroes we're getting out of the Unforgotten. KOHAI, the red-green barbed hunter hero with kind of let's just say some groundbreaking effects.
It is
on
wonderful.
His card.
Very nice. Yes, so for those of you who have listened to The Outsiders Only, excellent. You have been hearing a number of teasers that we've mentioned over the time, but here is it now. KOHAI, the Barbed Hunter. His pillar ability, when he's within 3, his talent ability, is an alternative attack action. So think the Ekrit Wind Barrier action with her illusion. No target required. So it is a 4-hex line, very similar to Ekrit. Damage the closest hero hit by this AoE. Place that hero inside the AoE as close as possible to KOHAI and apply slow to that hero. So again, continuing with the League of Legends comparisons, if you think of Pike with the hook, grab and slow them, this is pretty much the same idea here. So combining that with what we know about his ultimate, the displacement ability of KOHAI is exceptionally high. Also, very important to note, it says closest hero, not closest enemy hero, which means you can yank your allies if you so chose.
Yeah, I mean, his versatility, I think, is going to be through the roof. I mean, we've had discussions in the community over the past couple of days about Ekrit as a hero that has that level of versatility. But KOHAI is threatening to blow her out of the water.
Oh, yes. He's got more HP. He's honestly got better effects. Well, I don't know. Ekrit's immovability. Well, Ekrit's immovability only applies for projected heroes, so you kind of need a full Nupton squad there. But the other thing that's interesting about KOHAI, and what I love, is anti-control terrifying ability.
That mark is fantastic.
Marked enemy heroes within the line of sight, unfortunately not within 3, but, you know, we can't have our cake and eat it too. But marked enemy heroes within KOHAI's line of sight add the damage modifier of lead cards as opposed to their control value. Have you ever gotten annoyed that you want to play aggro decks like me, and then you end up going against someone like Eric or Corrido who just runs a bunch of 3-mana 0 and +1s all day and then just bleeds you out and sinkholes you to death? Never fear. Now you can make it so that their lead values are absolutely worthless, or in the worst case scenario, negative.
Yeah, I mean, he's got kind of he gets to double down on kind of these, I'm trying to think of what the word would be, but the types of effects where maybe you don't always get to utilize them, but you almost always have to play around them, like your Zakol, like your Ekrit. Not only are you stressing that you got to get into certain positions around every control token, but then every ult in your hand, you got to wonder, is this going to be needed to be a lead just to secure it in front of KOHAI?
Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously if you lead with the ultimate, it doesn't really matter. +3 on the flip versus 3 mana, so that doesn't matter. But pretty much every other 3 mana is at best a +1. And some of them, you know, not as often seen, but some of them have -1s, as we mentioned, but a lot of them are +0. So you go ahead, use that 3-mana lead. It's like, okay, I've got +3, and then KOHAI goes, surprise, you are worth 1, not 4.
Yeah, and so the other thing we're going to be having into this game is each of these decks is loaded up with some of our spoiled cards that we've seen from the Unforgotten, our dual mana cards. So
yes.
Just as kind of a refresher for them.
Yes.
Whenever they're played by these heroes, you're going to see their runes. They're going to have 2 different colors on them, and whoever's casting it has to have both of those colors.
Yes.
So that means someone like KOHAI will be able to play those red-green cards. Someone like Tlakali will be able to play those green-red or green-blue cards, and Nelliklin will play all of them.
As he is wanting to do. So, quick question from the chat we have. Does KOHAI deal damage to allied heroes? The answer is yes. So it does deal some damage. Of course, if you end up like yanking a tank, probably not going to do a whole lot of damage unless you hit that +3 on the flip. So, but yes, the damage actually does go through to allied heroes. So another potential ability you can use to knock off, say, a showdown, which funnily enough is one of our objectives today. Showdown, double kill, and hunting for power. It is a total bloodbath. It's going to be great. I'm happy. You should be happy too. Let's go and dive into the game here. We did the draft already while we were talking about KOHAI. We see that, as we mentioned, both players will be bringing KOHAI as kind of the condition for today's game. So up top on the screen, we have, I'm actually not sure if it's pronounced Magathellum or like Magathellum, so I'm just going to call him Mag. That way we can't mess that up. So Mag is bringing...
I'm down with that.
Mag is bringing Zakol, KOHAI, Nelliclin, and Tlicali. And as you can see, he's already opted to start bringing Nelliclin up to a fairly aggressive position. Which actually does make Nelliclin vulnerable to a yank. So we'll see how that works out there. Mouse, on the other hand, at the bottom of your screen, bringing Nelliclin, Akimo, Zakol, and KOHAI. So you'll notice that the sides of the screen with the HP trackers are a little bit off. There is no Hogasai, there is no Nantaka on this field. That's because KOHAI and Pebbles haven't officially been programmed into the TTS thing yet, so it can't read their card IDs and whatnot. So we are going to have to kind of manually keep track of those on the tracker board, which is why I'm a little bit more zoomed out than I normally would be, just so that we can follow the HP without totally breaking the entire game.
Yeah, and so we do have kind of with this double KOHAI and double Zakol in this game, a wonderful little game of chicken
Yes.
we're going to get to watch between who's willing to go first. I mean, can you imagine going into a matchup with double kill on the board and we're both activating Nelliclin's first?
I know. I can't honestly remember last weekend, obviously, when Pythoner played, we saw that Nelliclin went charging right into the dome brawl, and we're like, wait a minute, team, this is a little risky. And then, of course, we saw the beautiful Flux Eye of the Guardian combo for the turn 1 Rampant Hatred, which was absolutely wonderful.
Disgusting.
It was disgusting, but it was wonderful. But this is even more unusual. At that point, Nelliclin, I believe, was third on the list to activate. Nelliclin's going first here. Now, they are going to opposite sides of the lane, trying to secure a little bit of lane pressure there. But, overall, nevertheless, you're bringing them out, because like you mentioned, the KOHAIs can activate. We can pull the Nelliclin. We can punch with the Zakol. Both of those Nelliclins can be repositioned such that they don't influence a control token at all. You drag the Nelliclin with the KOHAI, and then you just punt them out of the dome.
Yeah, and I mean, thankfully that positioning is not super bad for Mag here, but for Mouse, I mean, he's got his Nelliclin already in range of KOHAI.
Yeah, actually, that's what I realized. That
go ahead and pop off right off the bat. Doesn't even have to move to reposition himself.
But instead
does opt to anyways.
Okay, so we're going to deploy KOHAI here into the middle. Potential worship action, I assume. Remember again that KOHAI does get to mark within 3, even if the effect actually is line of sight. All right, so we're going to mark Akimo. It looks like with the Kurumo worship aspect, so not going to do anything really here at this point. Akimo is going to activate and cleanse the mark as part of his worship. There is no Where Faith Falls to make it stick in this scenario here. So we do see, so again, as a reminder, Mouse is going to have the dark green pillars. Mag is going to have the white background pillars, just for differentiation here.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe he's just setting him in to get a lead down, not really wanting Zakol to be that guy. And before the activation ends here, Akimo does go ahead and play an Exhume.
Ooh, the Exhume card. All right. Yeah, I'm going to actually rely on you to let me know, because none of that stuff is coming up since we're using the modified version here. So if you would be, like, I can't even see the cards appearing at all. So we'll take a look at this. Exhume, we did see this is the Tim Bun special card. Discard the top 3 cards from your deck, and then randomly reveal 3 from the discard pile. Draw 1, and place the other 2 back in the deck. So we see here we do have some Grasp of Granite, Karuma's Judgment, and I missed the 4th one. Or the 3rd one. Also,
and draw.
Yep.
Or he should shuffle up his discard here and then draw, so then we can see what his 3 options he's picking from are.
Yes. Also worth noting, again, because it's not showing on the overlay, and random 4-die suddenly.
Oh.
New mechanics. We love to see it.
Oh, I guess that's his way of randomly figuring out what's going to come out. So the card staying in, and I think the one that we missed, was an Akimo's Oath.
Ah, the Akimo's Oath. Excellent. We did reveal that card last week. All the cards that are new have been revealed, so no new card spoilers. The big show here, of course, is the big man himself. So we will mouse over those cards. I'll be honest, I've been a little bit lazy, haven't programmed the Unforgotten cards in yet, so I can't bring them up on the overlay, but we can still mouse over them to see how they work.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Akimo's Exhumed does not find his own oath.
Unfortunate.
And it seems he's grabbed his one, and he's going to go ahead and discard the others. So, since we knew all 3 cards... Oh, no, they go back to the top of the deck. Never mind.
Yes, they don't get discarded. They go back to the top of the deck, which is interesting.
Thank you, Tim Bunn, for giving us green-red players such a wonderful card.
Yes, that guy on Exhume is good looking. I agree. Carl is pretty good looking. Tim, you're okay as well. Now, important thing that we did not mention, and again, difficult to see because of the overlay, is that Mags and Eloquin did actually pull a lead from hand. Mouse's did not.
Yes, and so we have seen KOHAI here also now pull Akimo right into the dome.
Yoink!
Just not going to wait for the activation to happen. Maybe just saying, like, hey, if you want to play this Akimo, you're going to do it right now.
Yes.
And we're going to keep him in the dome for this fight.
Yep. +2 on the damage brings Akimo down to 16 HP. And Akimo, again, Akimo, I've mentioned this before, but Akimo seems to be... It's very interesting, right? He has 18 HP, but for some reason, he seems like he just explodes and dies instantly. It's like a glass cannon effect. Like, you sit there and he's like, he's got the highest HP possible for a hero, but he just seems, maybe it's just personal bias, but it always seems like everyone just jumps on him and he just dies instantly.
Yeah, and I mean, the 0 armor just means that in so many of those matchups, he eats all those little bits of damage that just come in over time.
Yep.
Like that skirmish where you flip a +1 and that chips into him a little bit more. But I think green-red is probably one of the matchups where he has the most survivability.
Sure.
That isn't really a faction that has, or a faction pair that has had that consistent damage wheel.
Right.
They've always been about big hits, big individual moments, big attacks, or rampant hatred, stuff like that, where that one armor doesn't necessarily save you nearly as much as it does into, say, a Yami.
Right.
So perhaps Akimo's not going to be in that bad of a spot. I do think the decision to say you're going to race an Akimo for damage in the dome is pretty damn bold.
I will agree with that assessment as well, because KOHAI, as we remember, is a 16 HP, 0 armor hero. Let me pull that card up. Oh, no, he does have 1 armor. Oh, no.
He's got 1 armor.
I'm thinking of...
He is really good.
Never mind. I'm thinking of a different hero. Never mind. So 18-1, yeah. So it is going to be interesting. It is 18-0 versus 18-1. Of course, Akimo is 4++, with a bonus damage from the mark. And KOHAI is 2+, obviously. So... it will be interesting. If we see something like a Dance of Death or a Vendetta, perhaps, with coming out here, I feel like KOHAI is going to die.
I mean, yeah, I honestly hadn't even considered that KOHAI is our next big Vendetta enabler.
Yes.
I mean, Green-Red hasn't had their Miyuki equivalent, so here it is.
Yes. Because we can get the slowdown, you can have the marks sitting on them from the worship, and then someone else comes in, boom, Vendetta, we've got +4, suddenly they're swinging for quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. So we do get Zakol finishing that activation, not really getting too far out, but just setting up a pillar, popping a lead in that lane, trying to match Nelklin over there, and then having that pillar set up for his own KOHAI. Meaning that hopefully when he either goes to the dome or whatever he's going to choose to do here, he doesn't have to expend that action and can get a lead down or something.
Yes. And it is very interesting because you are 3 away. Now, it is notable that the Zakol from Mag is not going to be able to get over and punch the yellow Zakol out of the control token. Move skirmish will put you right next to green KOHAI. And so therefore not going to be close enough. Fast isn't available for green-red this early in the game. If this were turn 2, we could potentially see an unstoppable, which would give you both fast and frenzy, but as it is turn 1, not possible in this case. Although you could, I guess, have done some janky stuff with an Eye of the Guardian play, but that would require Neliclin to have not gone, which he did, so that play is off the table now. I'm interested to see. We did have options of the Outsider versus the Scourge of Puido. We forgot to mention that at the start of the game. Mouse did win the coin flip, or the die roll, I suppose, and elected to go second. So therefore, Mag brought the original Outsider. So it will be interesting to see what the odds of a DPS race here are. I think that the OG Outsider was a good choice, given that Hunting for Power is on the field. As much as I wanted to see Scourge, the Scourge would just evaporate, I think, with these heroes on the field. So bringing OG is useful, and let's see how we can manipulate that, the abilities there, to the Dome winner's advantage.
Yeah, and I think we also have a thing, like OG is, I think, a pretty good hero to have alongside someone like Zakol and Tlakali, just because they make good productive use out of that worship ability.
Yes.
And green-red, even with the revealed cards, Exhume is the only, I guess, card draw that they have out of that faction. So being able to replenish your hand at all is going to be pretty helpful.
Oh, yes.
Even though,
I
would always prefer to see a Scourge.
C-Dubs has an excellent question that I also would like the answer to, of why aren't we seeing more killing and we want blood? I agree. We've got aggressive lineups, we've got aggressive victory conditions, and instead we're dancing around like it's middle school and you can't decide if you want to go and walk up to that cute girl or cute boy and ask them for a dance. We're just kind of tiptoeing around. We need interaction. There we go. No, that's not it. That's not what I wanted to see. We have Dreams of Talit coming out from Zakol.
Yeah. Let's kill these minions.
This is not the... Well, the Dreams of Talit is going to allow him to spawn the pillar right there, collapse that. Where is the violence? We want to see blood, not minion killing. This is not a control game. I did not sign up to cast a control game. I want to see the HPs go down.
I mean, look at this minion. It's about to die.
That's not what I want to talk about. Minions always die. Minions are an expendable resource. We want hero violence.
So he is... he's using the worship. Okay.
Yep, worship
so
action.
He's down 1 minion. And that lane is now tied.
Yep, because yellow Neliclin does not have a lead action.
Yeah.
So we collapse the pillars. Zakol's ability allows you to do 1+ to a minion adjacent to the pillar. Boom, that's how that minion died. Just replace the pillar where it stood, so it's going to stay there. And I assume then that... Oh, we actually have a lead from the deck from Zakol. So, excuse me. So right now, Mag is actually winning that lane, unless it's a 0.
Yeah. He should probably win that lane. And then we're likely going to see this final decision for Mouse here, coming down to whether or not, with him taking second, it's going to be where that Akimo goes. Him having the slow means he can't get to Zakol and start pumping more damage, unless...
Oh, we could yoink Zakol out of the lane, though.
No,
yep, there it comes. All right, Barbed Hook coming into the play. 4 damage to Zakol.
Ooh, 4.
3 goes through, as Zakol also has an armor, so Zakol is going to get yanked right out of the lane and into the dome.
Fantastic.
Very nice. Finally, we get to see some action now.
Right in range for the Akimo to worship him, have KOHAI active. Man, what a dream.
We love to see the synergy. This is actually a brilliant play by Mouse. Everything about this is excellent. There's no way to sinkhole this because, again, turn 1.
I mean, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, yeah. There's nothing else to be said. It's beautiful. Also, as we mentioned, the Zakol is now slowed, so with the Akimo worship action, he will become marked. Maybe we see a turn 1 Vendetta. We can hope. That would be awesome. That would be 9++ from the Akimo. Great stuff.
I mean, and if he takes this Outsider, he could be getting this game moving pretty fast, because he's going to have, at minimum, equal numbers in this dome, unless Tlakali makes her way in there. But he's still going to be contending with a possible mark out of chemo just to try and shut down Takali unless she hugs that outer edge.
Ooh, and there's the lead action as well. So now that's going to bolster Mouse's position. He knows that there is a chance that this play could backfire. With swapping, if you get a 1 mana +2, then obviously you've actually made the trade better for your opponent using KOHAI's ability. So we'll have to see how that resolves. Also, we have some agreement. Tim says that lead actions are for cowards. I agree. Jorge says, where's Estrida so you can see her HP go down in a controlled environment? She is currently sitting on the grill. Screw Estrida.
Yeah, has nobody considered that we can have a neutral Estrida in this game for both players to beat up on?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Zaragul says, now even in turn 1 there exists a way for Sinkhole. I know. I hate it. You hate to see it, but there's also turn 1 Rampant Hatred and turn 1 Unstoppable, which admittedly isn't as great as it sounds, but the turn 1 Rampant Hatred can be really good, so I'm okay with that, Zaragul. What else do we have? Probably going to be one of the best heroes in the game, says C-Dubs. I agree. The amount of displacement that KOHAI offers between his 2 abilities plus his ultimate, I agree. I think he's now the best hero for displacement. Love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's pretty great that him and Ekrit are almost I guess Ekrit is now like his best counter in that way. Like that's probably the deck that's going to have the easiest time against him.
Right.
But you have the crucial flaw that yellow is almost entirely +0s on all of their 3-mana cards. So he's got the out even in that scenario.
Forget the 3 manas. Yellow's almost just entirely +0.
Yeah.
You could make that as a blanket statement.
And maybe this is actually the hero that we needed to stop presence.
Yeah. Well, funnily, now we can't say about that yet. Stay tuned. As there, well, you know what? It's supposed to be coming up tomorrow anyways. There may be a way to answer that too. That's all I can say about that.
I mean, this is news to me, but
well, there we go.
I'm ecstatic. This is like my favorite expansion yet.
I know. I was excited about the Breach. Now I'm excited about the Unforgotten. I'm less excited about the blue-yellow stuff. I don't know everything that's coming in the blue-yellow expansion. But
well, I've always felt a certain disdain for blue-yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it's helping blue, which can
two
only
cowards
be bad.
factions.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they have. Yeah, that's all we have to say about that. I mean, yellow didn't even show up in the Horde in the Horde game. Like that should tell you all you need to know about the Noopton faction.
So now over here we have Mag debating on what his Sakala is supposed to do.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
I don't know what his Sakala is supposed to do.
Honestly, I think you just have her chip off the minion and try to push in lane 1, because if you send her into the dome, as you mentioned, you're setting an Akali into an Akimo trap. That's not going to end well for you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he is already winning that lane, right? He even without killing a minion, he has the win in that lane, so he'll get the card. So he's playing on his Nelliclin, a copy of Eye of the Guardian.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Maybe he has a presence?
Oh, we can only hope not. God, I hate presence.
Honestly, he does have the Flux.
Who's he going to play it on, though? Because Eye of the Guardian is a target hero, which means she can
He's targeting his own Sakali.
Okay. So in that case, I mean... Okay, so this is a way to play the presence, yeah, without wasting the Flux.
Or he could send that
Sakali
into the dome.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, it's not actually, because you've spent a mana, so the thing goes down to 1 mana cost. You'd still need to play the Flux. So I'm curious what the play is here with this. So we're going to see a move. Okay. No, going to the lane.
Okay, maybe not going to the lane.
Maybe not. We're not sure. Meanwhile, the chat is actually super active. We love to see it. So what else do we have here? Ekrit counters this hero completely. Ekrit does Well, she doesn't counter it completely. She shuts down the displacement, but there's still the inversion of mana and lead action. So, as you pointed out, okay, here comes the flux. Now what's coming up? But,
Yeah, okay. Okay, so it is a presence.
So, why play Eye of the Guardian then? You could have
I
literally.
think maybe he was a little confused on how it worked.
That could be the case.
That's what I have to guess here.
Yeah, because like you could just flux presence and then you could have saved yourself the card, or maybe he just wanted to get rid of the card. Like,
I mean, yeah. He knows he's guaranteed at least one card at the end of this round from winning lane 1, so
yes.
we'll trim him down just a little bit. And with that presence, he's hoping he can win that dome, get the extra draw off the outsider, replenish his hand.
Correct. So with that being the case there, yeah. So, because you've got to kind of dig here. So the question now becomes, if you mark Tilakali, you can invert the card that she's about to lead with, but you also have the blind lead from Zakol.
Yeah, I think marking on the blind lead is like 50-50 on whether or not it's good.
Also, Dreams of Talent from Zakol. Okay.
I think that was just him readjusting.
Readjusting the card. Okay,
readjusting his cards.
Okay, I was gonna say because I'm like, wait a minute, didn't he already use his mana this turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
So so Colin going straight into lane 1, just gonna secure this lane completely.
Interesting. So giving up the outsider potentially.
Yeah, I mean it's a bold use of presence.
It is. We'll have to see if it plays out. So this will overwhelmingly give him lane 1 control there. I think so.
Yeah, I mean we're not sure if Mag is running any psychic shields.
Correct.
In which case, that Zakol could be causing a tie.
Yes.
If he gets marked.
Yes.
But I can't see a world where Mouse doesn't just activate this chemo, mark, attack, and get as much damage as he can into the Zakol.
I agree. Particularly because you're going to then most likely win the outsider, and so then you can just have the outsider continue just to beat down on Zakol. You can go for the attack action. You can prompt a worship action just to mark the Zakol or whatever. You can then shockwave the Zakol to, get him. Zakol is slowed, right, from the pool. So if you shockwave him down and towards Mouse's tower, it's going to be hard for him to be able to get to lane 2 because lane 2 is going to move in Mouse's favor.
Yes. And so I guess I'm honestly a little confused as to what's going on. They've just flipped the flux back over. Maybe I feel like there might have been a misreading of Eye of the Guardian.
Yes, because the mana that the Eye of the Guardian uses still counts. So therefore, Presence would have only been a 1 mana card, of which Takali had 0 mana. So I feel like there was a misfire there, but we're not entirely sure what's going on. So
these are the questions the whole community will have in a month or so.
That is correct. Yeah, that is fair. There are a number of jank interactions that both KOHAI and Pebbles are going to bring to this game, more so KOHAI than Pebbles, really. But I suspect that Tape is going to be well stocked on Advil for the next month and a half as we discover more and more jank, which honestly I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of jank.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to just create more fun and surprising aspects to the game. I mean, we've had the ability to go in a turn 2, and we can expect that flux sinkhole, and we have to anticipate it. And now you can do it right from the very start of the game. We get that tension all game long now.
Okay, so we're putting the flux back over now.
Okay.
I think I see Mouse's
to play
hand.
Another card.
Oh, wait.
Maybe there was a reorder of how the cards were played.
Yes,
maybe
that's
it
what
was
I'm thinking.
Flux, Presence, then Eye of the Guardian.
Yes.
And now Trample.
That's what I'm thinking there. The Flux Presence would bring it down so that the Presence play would cost 1. Tilakali plays that, but technically counts as having spent 2 mana. Then the Eye of the Guardian came from Nelliclin, as we do see it was repositioned over there. So Eye of the Guardian from Nelliclin can then target Tilakali. Because she spent 2 mana, that reduces the next card by 2, which allows for the trample. This is the play that Carito talked about, and I hate everything about it.
I mean, this is pretty hot.
This is wrong. This is wrong on so many different levels.
I'm a little insulted that this is happening with these victory conditions on the board.
Yes, that's why I'm saying this is wrong. There is aggression, and more aggression, and we've got the trample nonsense. Like, you hate to see it.
So
it's a good play, but you hate to see it.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Chemo can kind of satiate our desires a little bit here.
He better.
As our final activation given for the round.
Okay.
Opens with a skirmish?
No, the skirmish is not the play, team. The play is the worship.
Oh, we were supposed to be beating his ass.
Well, we're not going to beat anything there because that's going to bounce right off the armor. No, the play was skirmish, worship. Worship, yeah, skirmish is not the play. No, there's no worship! Mouse, sir!
Maybe that KOHAI did not lead with a 3.
No!
Ooh, but that's going to still get some damage.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing. Well, in that case, you just get rid of your pillar somehow, but no! Oh, okay, well, whatever. So
All right, I mean, 6 damage is still pretty good.
Yeah, you know, we'll take the 6 damage. Could have been 7, could have been down to 8, but, you know, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, I think this might... So, say that outsider attacks and shockwaves and gets another 5 damage in. This might keep Zakol out of range of a KOHAI suicide.
Right. That's the thing we talked about, yeah.
Which is pretty crucially important in this matchup here.
By the way, yeah, it is worth noting that we forgot to mention this. For the showdown, it is MouseTKE versus Zakol. So, the Zakol suicide is 100% the... Oh, and so we are going to worship on the KOHAI.
Interesting.
I'm okay.
I'm a bit confused.
As am I. That makes 2 of us. But again, perhaps Mouse has something in his hand. He's got 4 cards, so perhaps he has a plan that we don't see coming just yet.
Maybe he needs that mark on him for an activation next round or something?
I have to assume so. All right, let's take a look at some lead actions here.
Takali's got the 3.
Yep, Takali's got the 3. Nellie's got the 3.
So they're likely going to be winning this by 3 because Zakol does have that lead from hand.
Yes, so 3
Here's
there.
another.
Okay, so that's going to wash out. So that's going to actually be 3 damage to the tower on turn 1.
Or 4 damage because of the presence, actually.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you are correct. So 4 damage to the tower. However, as Elton John would say, still standing.
Yeah.
Barely, but still there.
So this does delay a potential Nexus kill till turn 3 at least.
There's 3 aggression cards and we're going for Nexus kills. No.
Let's just say this was all a ploy. It's just like a smoke screen. Make him think about the Nexus so you can kill him in the Nexus.
No, this is not the play. Again, it's good, but it's not the play. Ugh. You hate to see everything about this. I mean, unless you're mad because you're winning that lane. All right, so lane number 2 does resolve. As we mentioned, this one is going to be in favor of Mouse there. Mouse does have the minion plus the Nelliclin. So going to go ahead, slide that up. And again, of course, both players do get to draw a card for their victory. In lane, dead minion, move the control token up 1, respawn. So it is now a 3-2 on the minions. Now, the big question is, what did Zakol lead with?
Yeah, and we do need them to spawn and move up that token in the other lane as well.
Yes. Yep, there we go.
Here we are.
Yep.
Perfect.
None of the minions will snap, of course. The default minions are still within 3, regardless of where the control token goes, up or down towards the towers. So we're okay there, but do need to move that down, as you mentioned, and Mouse needs to start killing people. Preferably Zakol, but some people. All right, so we have a 2 from hand from Ishitas.
Oh, God, no. They did tie it.
And you could have had a 0 if you would have worshipped a Mouse. Mouse, my friend.
Oh, that's gonna put a dent in his. That's gonna put a big dent in his
Oh.
ability to kill the Skull.
Oh no, Mouse, you could have done more damage to Zakol and brought him to the point of. Ah, you hate to see it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got a pretty good shot at getting to him.
He
He's
does.
got
He does.
he's got three heroes kind of triangulated around him here,
Yes,
and they're probably the three heroes I'd be happiest around him right now.
this is very
Even
true.
if that Zakol goes first, tries to run, KOHAI is here.
Yes. Can only run so far being slowed.
Mm-hmm.
And C-Dubs is predicting Showdown round 2. Well, let's see. Because not winning that control there of the outsider. Oops. Move that marker up. Nope. This is what happens when two people try to move the token at the same time. Mouse not getting control of that outsider makes this a little bit more challenging. You could have if you would have gotten the outsider, then you can very easily set that up for a kill shot with the Akimo. You move in, you worship, it's pretty much guaranteed at that point after the outsider has softened it up a little bit more. But now, 9 HP still doable, of course, with Akimo if there's some cards there, but more likely than not going to need some supporting fire, perhaps from the Neliclin, in order to make this showdown happen.
Yeah, and any of that supporting fire that he's going to be putting down on Skull is going to stay risky, just because of the enemy KOHAI being that threat towards his showdown win.
Mm-hmm. And Jorge asks, "Are you crazy, or am I crazy?" Meaning him, I guess, not me. We know I'm crazy. But can you try showdown on turn 1 with KOHAI? You absolutely can, sir. Turn 1 showdown is a thing, which is why we've called showdown kind of the season 2 hunting for power. You heard Mataiz reference that earlier. Basically, yeah, if you run your leader out first, then everyone just kind of laser focuses in on your leader. Very easy to do a turn 1 showdown kill.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, it was always, if you were super scared of it, you just saved that showdown activation for the very last one.
Exactly.
But KOHAI does not care, as we saw in this one.
Nope, doesn't care at all. You want to see it in the back? Yoink!
So we are seeing Neliclin for Mag as the first activation here.
Ooh, okay.
Taking him into the dome.
Okay.
I guess maybe he starts hammering in on Akimo as well.
Ooh, okay,
just
interesting.
says, all right, if we're going to do this, we're going to race.
Let's go. Mano a mano. Boom. Fighting time. Let's go. Out of the lanes. We don't want to see any more control nonsense. Let's go. Violence. Dome brawl. 8 in the party. Let's go. Any attack action, maybe? Or are we going to play a card here, perhaps? It is turn 2. The Flux has been consumed, but Neliclin is within...
he is not within 3.
Oh, no, that's right. Because he's the white ones. And Zakol whips out a Doom. Okay.
Onto Akimo.
Yes.
Ooh, does consume his mana. So that does kind of hurt Akimo's killing opportunities here.
Correct.
Stops things like Allure of the Tainted, like a Vendetta, or even just a Blazing Edge to get that little bit more damage to get him over the hill.
Yep. Ooh, and the attack action dealing 4 damage brings the Akimo down to 12.
Yeah, and he's going to finish it with... Oh, a Skytear trade. Oh, my God.
There's a card I haven't seen for almost a year.
Yeah.
Wow. So Skytear Drain, target enemy hero's owner discards 2 power cards from their hand. Also,
I mean, not the most effective on a 6-card hand, but...
Right. But still, I mean...
I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah.
So you see him discarding a Kotlik's Oath.
Okay.
And...
A Clear Mind.
A Clear Mind.
Ooh, as you mentioned, getting that bonus attack damage in could have been significant, but not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the Doom plus the Skytear Drain, it's... Wow, this is a lot of hate.
Yeah. This is actually, I would probably say, more hate than I displayed a Corrido on a weekly basis. Ooh, and the +3.
Oh my goodness.
Ouch. Mag getting all of the good flips there. Skirmish damage +3 to Akimo. Again, piercing, of course. 9 damage brings Akimo down to 9 HP, and all of a sudden, showdown.
It's even.
Showdown for Mag looking, actually, I would argue that it's in Mag's favor since Zakol has armor and Akimo does not.
Yeah. So we're gonna... Man, I mean, so the bigger problem is Zakol has a little bit of a harder time actually nailing that kill here.
Yes.
We can really only count on like 4 damage out of his activation.
Right.
And that 4 damage is like dangerously close to KOHAI's killing range.
Correct. That being said, I wonder if we're going to see some surprise red damage. It's very interesting because we've got a lot of like green control cards, and then we've got the red. Actually, no. I guess technically I'd qualify Doom as a control card. It's a flip damage card, but it also its effect is more control-y because you're selling mana.
Yeah. It's always had its place in those red aggro decks just because of that +2 and being able to deny. Like it's almost like an anti-control card.
Right.
But I mean, we've got a lot of options to try and eke out that little bit more damage with Sakol. You've got things like all of your red attack buffs.
Yep.
But also things like Zoltan Hungers, which we've seen the players having in their decks here.
Yes, that's a good point. Zoltan Hungers
and just
coming
that
out.
2 damage bump could be pretty significant.
And Akimo's going to play a presence. What?
So somehow the Neliquin for Mouse, he played it on them. I don't know why Akimo was playing it instead, though.
So to show you more jank on the AI system, Neliquin, who is actually masquerading as Akimo here, is playing the presence. No weird shenanigans.
Discards a 3? Wow, I guess he was hunting for damage.
Must be, yeah. Okay, so Neliquin is going to go for the move action. I think this is the play here. We soften up the Zakol, make it so that his options for running away are somewhat limited. This will do piercing damage, so this actually could be pretty good on the flip. Didn't show up, so I assume it's a new card.
It is a new card. It was Akimo's Oath, which is a -1.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Yikes.
Yikes, indeed. All right, we're going to go for the skirmish.
He's going to get the skirmish.
Oh,
gets a second shield, though. Okay, that kind of makes things up a little bit.
That, on the other hand, we love to see.
I mean, 4, that's a dangerous range.
So that's kill range. Yeah, that's kill range now for Akimo. Assuming that he doesn't flip another -1, that is an Akimo attack kill after the worship action.
Yeah. And this KOHAI is going to have a pretty tough time killing him. He'd have to hit a +3.
Yeah, you'd have to hit the +3. But also, you would, and that would consume your entire setup basically, because you'd have to move, then worship to get the pillar in, because no matter where
doesn't have one.
Yeah, no matter where you position KOHAI, he's simultaneously not going to be within 3 of the pillar, and able to yank Zakol. And then
so he does have one route, which he can skirmish.
Oh no, I lied. I see that. Yeah,
step down 1 and then hit it. And then hit him.
That is correct. Yes.
But I mean, he's already flipped an ult or 2, and he's gonna have to be relying on only hitting that.
Yeah, you need a +3 to kill your Zakol. Otherwise, you just basically handed your opponent the game. Although to be fair, I think you are in deep trouble anyways.
Yeah.
Zeragol asks,
maybe
go ahead.
2 runs. I'm trying to just think of what he could possibly be doing with this Zakol here.
Sure. Zeragol asks, how would you fix Showdown? I would ban it.
I mean, I love it in concept.
I love it too. I love it too. Cool. I think it's excellent. But the problem is focus fire kills people way too easily in this game. Like, we had that problem with hunting for power before we gave the retaliation actions to the outsiders so they could run away. And Showdown, now we don't even have that option. On a serious note,
speaking of retaliation powers, we just give the Showdown heroes retaliation powers.
That's a thought.
Do you want to chicken race people? Because then you could.
Yeah, you know what? That's a thought. We could potentially explore that. That's a good idea. All right, anyways, we're going for a skirmish.
That might just make things faster.
That's also true, because then we get in like a Shalavi catfight scenario where we just kind of DPS race each other down. Okay, so KOHAI is going for the yoink action here on Akimo. That's not going to save you, because you can still skirmish next to the Zakol. Skirmish worship attack still lets you kill him.
I mean, it's not like that's not what he's going to do no matter what.
Right. I think you should have moved and yanked Akimo out of the dome, but that's going to be 3 damage.
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance he's got like a slide in hand.
Could be.
In which case he can catch him on the initial skirmish. Or just shut down a little bit of his movement.
Yeah, I think that the play here that Mag is going for is I have to make it incredibly difficult for a chemo to... Ooh, here's the... Well, no, Stone Barricade wouldn't solve you because then you can just go and step on the pillar that's already in existence. Yeah. Well... He declares an attack. If this is a +3, this will actually kill a chemo. It won't trigger Showdown because
Yeah.
KOHAI
Which, I mean, that is one way to keep Showdown off the table.
Yeah. So this is actually a thought here. So, interesting. The question is, are you feeling lucky? Do you feel lucky?
I think he did already attack. He was just post-declaring it because a chemo has been pulled.
Oh, right. You're good point. Good point. That's true. Yeah, so in that case, I don't know what else you could do. I mean, I guess... Well...
I mean, there is like the really simple answer of just, maybe he just has like an Impervious.
That's true. I haven't seen Impervious in a long time, and I'm glad for that, but that used to be a great card combo. The good old Impervious into Shield Slam and 5 piercing damage from Brovar, and then whoops.
I mean, maybe if Green-Red is back on the table in a much stronger degree, then we can be seeing that card around a little bit more.
All right, there goes the skirmish action. +1 on the flip. Again, bounces off the armor. Here comes the worship.
Here's the attack.
Yep. Well, no, first you want to worship.
Oh.
If you don't, If you don't worship, you need a +1. Yeah, that's true. We thought there could have been a worship last time, and there wasn't.
And no worship.
Where is the worship? Am I missing something? Is he already marked?
I don't understand.
I am so confused by the...
But he gets the +1.
No, it doesn't matter. He's dead anyways. That's fine. Okay. I was about to bash my head off the keyboard because I thought Zakol had 5 HP left, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But that is Showdown, so Akimo slays Zakol. Good game.
Yeah. I mean, we still got a pretty great, cool use out of
KOHAI.
These 2 KOHAIs,
yes.
And out of our new cards in the game here.
Yes.
We get to see an Exhume out here for hunting for a card, and we get to see that crazy trample play on turn 1.
Yeah. I hate trample. All right, so let's go ahead and go chat with the players, because that was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, let's happen.
Yeah, it's maybe it will be better.
Yeah.
Good game, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, not so good, really.
I mean, that was certainly a good setup. I will admit I was a little bit, no, this is not the play, trample. We don't want it. No, why are we trampling? This is an aggression game, sir. But that was still a really good play, though.
Yeah, I thought it was
I
super
just wanted to try. Oh, sorry. Please go.
Oh no, I was just saying it's a really cool play. I like to see it.
Yeah, I just want to try that trick of trample and to try to win, to destroy the tower in turn 1.
Sure.
It's a thing I want to do from the start. Maybe it could be better on Ashen Pass. I don't know.
Ashen Pass, definitely that would be useful. The thing is, though, it's always a little bit harder to set up with 3 minions, right? But certainly doable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
3 minions and only 3 heroes to add those minions. Right,
exactly. Got to get the Yami step quick shot attack combo going, and then boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Everything's cleared.
I mean, if you would have marked Zakol with KOHAI within 3, I mean that might have blown my lead. Forgot what I led there. Probably, it was a 3 mana card, obviously, so it could only have been a 0 or a +1, because it was not an ult. So I mean, if you would have did that, then I would only had 2 to your 8, so that would have worked.
Well, remember the important thing with KOHAI is line of sight, not within 3 for the Terrify.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, maybe I had to move Zakol first. Or maybe as the second hero, try to make a disguise to cover better my real intention, and try to to stimulate Mouse to activate his Akimo maybe sooner. I don't know. I have to think about that. It's the first time I try to I tried this setup, so I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
No, it's
I
very
have to
well.
think about that.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, the point of fun games here is try out some new strategies. Maybe they work, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kohai is going to be one of these heroes that just he's going to involve so much thinking about those first turn setups, especially,
Yes. Oh,
and where
yes.
Yeah.
you want him, what do you want him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be a learning curve for all of us trying to come to grips with what he's supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever, I think that the card of the next expansion are really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
I really love Eye of the Guardian. I think it will be my my must be in
Must
my
include.
future decks. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, for turn one trample and setting up, I think I had quite a few outs. I mean, I had Zakol could have Zoltan's hungered and attacked a minion and led. That would have been a pretty good out for him. If you hadn't mana burned a chemo, I had the lure, so that would have been fatal from Kohai marking him or a chemo marking him. And then next turn, I still had the teleport with Kotlik's Oath.
Yeah. Very good. But I start the match with the clear intention to play in the way I played. So try to try the trick, the trample trick. I want to try it, and I've tried.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a play to work on. It certainly could catch if there was a breach condition. Then this definitely would have been a great setup there for the breach play. Doing that, and there's certainly merit to the Eye of the Guardian trample play. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes you have to fail your opponent, make him think that you will do a thing, and instead you do some other stuff. Okay. Oh, it was very interesting to play this type of match.
I think Kohai's got two modes of play. Either pulling targets in close for aggro VCs or pulling them out of the sphere of influence that they want to be in.
Yes.
And he has the mind games of marking enemies and screwing up their leads, possibly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. I agree.
So I mean, my list was built with the intention of always taking two mono green heroes, Kohai, and at least one Kurumo hero, so that I had a couple marks going on.
Mm-hmm.
I had enough pillar generation to make sure that I'm hooking every turn.
Yeah. Me too. I try to do the same. Yeah, I like. I can't wait to see who the next hero will be.
Ah, yes, Pebbles. Well,
yeah.
According to the
cards.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Okay.
No, I was just going to say that according to the release schedule, we're supposed to find out the new Heroes card tomorrow, or at least during the week. But of course, obviously, as we mentioned, Giacomo has been feeling quite under the weather with an extended illness, so we do wish him a speedy recovery. So it may be the case that we spoil it through another medium, whether that's outsider only, we make a pitch after next Sunday's Skytear Sunday, one of the two cases, or if Giacomo is feeling better, in the newsletter. And all I have to say is it's about damn time. Pebbles is going to bring a lot that I think the Red faction was lacking, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think between Pebbles, Kohai, and Akimo and Kotlik's Oath, that fills a huge gap Exhume felt really strong on turn 1.
Yes.
I only had 1 card in the graveyard. I said, oh, okay, well, we'll just roll a d4, and whatever card that is, that's the one that stays in the graveyard. So
nice.
it felt like a more powerful presence, basically, almost. That early. I'm sure late game it loses a lot of luster when you have 15 or 20 cards in your
discard pile. Yeah.
In your discard pile.
Sure. Well, although to be fair though, if it's late enough in the game, you might have done a deck flip, so you might have a small graveyard again.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so with just this expansion, kind of getting to focus on green-red as it being my like favorite faction pairing for the whole time,
I was gonna
and
say,
it
you have to
feeling
love
kind
this.
of underwhelming. I am so excited to have this brief period of just having these new toys that blue-yellow just doesn't get to enjoy.
Double birdie over to the blue-yellow squad right now. Although that'll be fixed come, early next year.
Yeah, and then maybe we go back to the status quo or not. I mean, these cards are crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We're getting to the point where there is such a large card pool, and we will have 32 heroes by that point. So the roster is also getting big, and it'll be interesting because we've had some discussions, and I know my concern is that we might see less rainbow play because of the dual rune mana cards, because obviously some of their effects are ridiculously good, and the trade-off then is they're restricted to only the 16 heroes that have or the 14 heroes, whatever the split is, that can dual color. So
I mean, yeah. But at the same time, I'm looking at these heroes and I'm thinking, you know who I really want in here? Is I just want to put Shadris in here. I want to have the Shadris and the KOHAI and the Ekrit and have them all together and just play for the movement chaos.
Stop. I'm muting your mic right now. No, that's wrong. There's
you might as well play Zakol then too, because he's red-green.
Oh yeah, toss him in there.
No,
I thought KOHAI would be really strong with Grasp of Granite too.
Yes.
Not only are you hooking somebody, but you're locking them in place.
Correct. Yes. Yeah,
and
I think that's going to be a big
makes
play.
it really rough for them.
Yes.
Yeah, he's also probably the best coup user that we've seen so far too.
I'm sorry, the best what user?
Coup.
Oh,
coup. Grab somebody, hook them in, and then hit them right back out. Applying those 2 conditions to them.
Yes.
Mark and slow and push 2. Yeah.
Yeah, there's with KOHAI on the field, there is a lot of displacement potential now. And again, obviously we only got to round 2 here, so we didn't get to see Belly of the Beast in action. But with that, even more displacement ability can take place. So it will be very interesting to see how this plays out in the future games, because according to the document that Eric put out, these cards are legal for the World Championship.
Yes, that was just released today.
Yep. And as Zergel mentioned, yes, we love to see it. It's going to be wild and wonderful because they are not legal for this coming weekend's last chance qualifier. So as we did last year, the World Championship is going to debut brand new heroes. So we'll see who deploys them, who leaves them on the bench, and what kind of shenanigans unfold for both type of players based on their choices.
Bring your pillar hate.
Yeah, pillar hate is going to be that's going to be a very, very good point. No one wants to play yellow right now because yellow didn't get any fancy new toys, but at the same time, you kind of need Triumph of the Light in order to clear out the pillars.
Yeah. My only question now is what kind of deck will Timbom play during the final?
I have to assume some sort of red-green because if he doesn't play with his card, then that's basically shameful.
Yeah, exactly. You have your own face on the card.
Yeah, that is literally your card.
No, I have his card in my deck, but I assigned it to Akimo, and Akimo didn't play in that match. But I like that card.
Yes.
It's really useful to me.
Oh yeah.
As Mouse showed us before during the match.
Yes. Well,
even if in the first round.
Well, we only have about a month until the World Championships take place, so the wait will not be much longer before we have the showdown of the best players in the world, plus I think We will be bringing that to you live. I'm not sure exactly what the setup plan is, but I think it's going to run similar to last year. I do know that Saturday is 5 games async play, so I'm sure that we'll probably try to do some streaming and casting there. As Zergel mentioned, there are open deck lists this year for the World Qualifiers, so there won't be any problems streaming the games, revealing any hidden tech or surprise cards from the players, because everyone will have that information open and available to them from the get-go, so we can talk about that all the time. And then Sunday, we will have the final 4 games, the semifinals, and the Ultimate Showdown to determine the 2021 World Champion.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what will be happening.
All right. Any final thoughts here before we go ahead and wrap things up?
No, I am very happy to have played against Mouse. It was my first time against him, and I really appreciate. His kindness.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for Mouse.
I try to be, anyway.
Well, you succeed.
you.
All right, well then, on behalf of Mouse, Mag, and Mataiz, thank you very much for joining, everyone. Enjoy the new KOHAI spoilers. We're going to go ahead and throw the card in the Discord for you to be able to read the hero card at your leisure in a little bit, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a good afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Hi, guys.
Good.